Tell me all those dirty, dirty secrets. Tell me all your dirty little 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 secrets. Yourself. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, July what is today?
16th.
The 16th.
Yeah.
And it is actually a beautiful afternoon here in Vero Beach, Florida. I want to welcome you guys to the Shovelhed podcast, and I'd like to introduce you to my guest this week, Erik with a K, Winger.
Thank you for the distinction.
Yes, that's Erik Stone is with a K as well too.
We've talked about that. Actually.
What's your nationality?
I'm a mutt.
My
mom's family is Scottish, German. My dad's family is probably Scottish or German, Austrian. I want to do one of those.
Where do you think? Where's the K then? Austrian?
My
If your
mom
dad is
just
German?
liked it better, and it was either that or Luke.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Okay.
so she chose Erik, but she liked it with a K.
yeah. I never knew anybody that spelled it with a K until Erik Stone.
And now you know just.
I like it so much better. Like when
Erik
you
the
look
Red,
at,
it's a Viking.
yeah,
It looks
you
more
see-
striking,
very much more striking.
much more masculine for sure.
So welcome to the Shovelhed
Thank you, man.
podcast.
I'm happy to
Thank
be
you.
here. Cheers.
Thank you for coming. Yes, sir.
My pleasure. Yes.
Little daisies. You guys know how much I love this stuff. One of these days I'm going to get them to sponsor me. Daisy Social Soda. It's like the best stuff. He got grape today. What do you think?
I think it's delicious.
It's good,
Delightful.
right?
And
It's $42 for a case of 12.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not cheap.
man,
but it's good.
I feel honored that you shared one with me. It's great. It's very good.
I can't do these without something.
Sure.
I have to constantly have something to drink.
It's called a social.
Social soda.
Social
yeah.
soda.
And
Okay.
I think every bar should start
Should have
selling
those.
these because do you know I know of at least 50 people in the last 2 years that have quit drinking altogether.
Right.
And then and you know they like they'll drink the faux drinks and things, but because they don't want to deal with the alcohol on their system and on their body. And
Right.
this is I'm telling you,
It's
it's
a great
worth
substitution.
yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. The problem is you got to be very careful, just like anything else, and watch how much you take.
Right.
The first time I had these, Connolly's, the venue that we play out in West Palm Beach, she introduced them to me, Caitlin, who runs it, and I had 4 of them over the course of the night, 20 milligrams a piece. By the end of the fucking night, my legs were rubber.
You didn't know your name.
I had no idea what the fuck was going on, and I had a 2-hour drive home.
Oh,
All I-95 though, so it's pretty safe to drive. You should never drive Stone.
No,
Don't
but
drive Stone.
if you
It's bad
do,
for you.
drive one of those newer cars with lane assist.
Yes,
Just push a button.
lane assist, right? Or
Tesla.
the new Tesla cab.
Man, I'm going to get a fleet of those. Passive income, man.
You know, my wife, she's never seen you without your makeup.
Oh,
She said today, she goes, Erik plays in Kiss Alive, the tribute.
that's right.
The South Florida's #1 Kiss tribute band, and he is a Peter Criss,
I am.
believe it or not,
This guy.
which I had no fucking idea. When I met you, I thought all you were was a drummer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I started seeing like your that's the beauty of Facebook is just as soon as you're a friend with somebody that you start seeing them in your algorithm, at least
Right.
for the first couple of
Oh, yeah.
weeks. And then I realized like how much playing you do that is not drumming.
Well, actually, I drum occasionally with a great 80s band out of Orlando called Switch.
Switch.
Switch is basically Love Song, the Cure tribute.
Yeah.
Same
Rusty
guys.
Wilmot.
Rusty's my brother. And
I
So-
never met him, but his reputation
you need him on the show. He is one of the most beautiful, kind, generous, and ridiculously talented people I've ever met.
he looks like Robert Smith.
He does, and he's great. But I've been playing guitar and Switch as a sub for years, and then just started doing drums. And I haven't played with them in probably a year or so. But aside from Switch, Kiss is Live is the only time
It's
I
the
really
only time
play
we play drums. Yeah. I for those of you that don't know, you need to. Do you have an artist page? It's an Erik Winger page.
It's Erik Winger Music, but
yeah,
I have
so
erikwinger.com.
you should go check it out because I just found out he's working on his 3rd CD.
Yep.
So this is his first one.
No, this is the first.
Oh, this is the first
one.
one.
The yellow one's the new
So this one, every time I see the pictures, it kind of freaks me out because of the eyes.
Yeah, I know. Cool.
When it passes passes me on Facebook, I'm always like, what the fuck is in his eyes?
So that cover was an homage.
It's the Earth, right?
It's the Earth.
Yeah.
The album's called Wonderlust. So I had that. That's an interesting album. I started recording that in 2006.
Okay.
And then got probably 60% done, and then life happened and I walked away from it. 2021, I said, I need to finish this album. So most of those songs.
Wow.
One song on that album I wrote in 1997.
Okay. That's
most of them
cool.
are older. So I wrote one new song, and within that year, I put that album out and immediately started on the second one. So
yeah, and so
musically they're very, very different.
22 just came out.
Yeah.
And 24. Okay. You can have all you want.
You can.
Yes, sir.
You
Well,
you
can have all you want.
You got to be willing to pay the price.
That's right. You know, and that's
sweat equity.
Something that I've been talking about a lot lately on through my podcast and through the marketing is how much a musician really has to be willing to give up from their life in order to create.
Yeah.
And then to get out and to play and then to constantly market, you know, when it's original material, especially it's so, I stopped writing music in 2012. And just because for me, the battle of banging my head against the wall, that daily grind of listen to me, download it, like it, share it, but you know, it's
annoying to
talk
about yourself that much.
Yeah, because the hardest part about this business is you tend to most artists with any semblance of success tend to constantly get labeled with a narcissist label. And it's has nothing to do with narcissism. It just has to do with the fact that you are your own cheerleader.
Right.
And no one is going to cheerlead for you as loud as you or your mom.
That's right.
You know?
No, it's true. It's like the whole idea, like I gave you one of my shirts, like the whole idea of me having a shirt with a caricature of my face on it to sell at shows is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
But it was Nick and the guys from Switch that were like, you need to do that.
Yeah.
It's not about, it's really about
branding.
Brand recognition, you know, so.
I mean, if you can't learn that from being in a Kiss fucking tribute band.
It's weird though too, like you mentioned, like it's so much different than being in cover bands or tribute bands, which I have done all my life and I still do. Anybody will come out and see a band and they'll pay a cover charge or they'll go to a club and fill it every weekend to hear the same Don't Stop Believing, Living on a Prayer, and
Sweet Child of Mine.
I love those songs.
Yes, but God damn it.
Like, you know who really needs you to check them out is original bands.
Yeah.
And there
hardcore.
There are a lot of great ones. And, you know, try some music you might not have heard.
You know what's become difficult for original bands though is there are guys like you, and I hate to say this, old school, okay? Yeah. Old school songwriter, somebody that sits down, writes the song, writes the lyrics, goes into a studio, track by track, records the song, records the lyrics, records the background vocals, records the solos, records all these things. You package it, put it together. It's the whole time there's a thought process behind the track listing. You know, like the artwork on the album, is it going to represent the songs? Does the track listing, how I'm trying to create a vibe from the start of the record to the end of the record. The issue with originals nowadays on the scenes out there is there is 7,000 people on on YouTube right now. Like if there were whatever the number was when we were really busting our asses in the 90s and the early 2000s to get original music heard, it's 10, 20, 30 times as many fucking people.
Yeah, it's oversaturated.
It's oversaturated.
Anybody with a MacBook can make an album.
Yeah.
And
you don't even need a MacBook anymore. So right. You can download Fender Studio on your phone. And you can take karaoke tracks.
Right.
Shift them into your DAW and record a vocal over it. And boom, that's what these people are doing nowadays. And so my thought process is at some point in the next decade, it's all going to come crashing down, and we're going to be forced to go back to listening to people who write their own creative art.
For me, like on these, like the first one and the second one, this one, so on Wanderlust, I designed like the album concepts for both of these, and this was an homage to Billy Joel and Phil Collins's
Strange
albums, like the close up on the face, coming out of the darkness. And because this album was so dark and the music isn't dark, it's different. I wanted this album cover to be much more bright and vibrant,
right?
And I still haven't figured out what the third one is, but
right.
I mean, I have a lot of great musicians that I work with. On some of the songs, I play the drums and the bass and the guitar and all the vocals. Some of the songs I play just bass, and I think there's one song on the last album where I don't play anything, and
really?
I actually like that.
Okay.
I play a little bit of everything, but I know much better drummers, bass players, and guitar players than me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to stroke my ego to do it myself.
Yeah.
So I have a great.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful way. That's a beautiful. Have you always been that way? Because I was
not. Well, no. Originally, I did it because I didn't have the money to. I just on the first album I played almost all the guitars. Andrew Goodpaster played guitar on one song on the first album.
And you probably mixed it.
And he
probably sat in the room and mixed it with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the first album, I did show up for a lot of mix sessions, but so by the time the first album came out and I was working on the second album, a lot of my musician friends really liked the first album. Like I do well on the streaming platforms and I've sold CDs and stuff. The second album got a distribution deal in Spain of all places.
Oh, wow.
Because they saw one of my videos and they loved it. But by the time I started doing the second album, a lot of my musician friends were like, oh, you're serious about this. And these are good songs. And they know I'm spending way more money than I'm making. So like, we'll play on your stuff.
Okay.
So now it's like I have a band. It's like, I'm going to pay for everything. And, I'm going to front the production cost and all this stuff.
I do. This is what I
do.
And
if they need money, I'll throw it. But I've been very blessed to have the musical brothers that take these silly little songs that I write and make them into something really spectacular. So a lot of great collaborations.
My issue with songwriting is that I'm never done. So a song is never done.
Yeah.
I can be in this, and I had to learn this the hard way. Like we had to hire a producer to produce it because you get to that point where everybody in the band wants to be in the room when you're mixing it. And then, of course, the drummer's over there being like, my hi-hat's not loud enough. And you're like, how do you fucking hear a hi-hat out of all of those things going on? But the moment that I was able to say, I'm going to go home and go to bed.
Right. You figure it out.
You figure it out and let me, and then come in like in a week and hear the album done.
Right.
And be like, oh my God, man. Like that's nothing like what I would have done. And it to me, it made the process. I think it's important that the person mixing is somebody that is outside the process, because you become, your ears become so used to the mixing.
Right. It really helps, I think, too.
I love that. The studio is the best place in the world.
I love it. I will say this. I think because I play a little bit of everything and I dabble a little bit in piano, enough to write with it, you know.
I can't write.
I'm an arranger in my head, so I've produced both albums without an outside producer, with me and Ken Cordes, my partner, who has helped me make these. Great guy, great studio that he has. I have a pretty good idea 99% of the time
of what
the song is in my head. And what's interesting is when you sit down to track it, even though you're playing the parts in your head, it always sounds different. Like it always becomes something else.
I hear
the wisdom is to follow
things that I didn't hear before all the time. It all has to do with the way the frequencies match on the instruments that you're playing. Like I have heard bells where there were no bells,
overtones,
or flutes where there were no flutes, and then all of a sudden you got to go back in and add parts, you know, because you're like, oh my God, that will sound so much fucking better if there was a flute in there.
And sometimes too, you have to get it down, and then you live with it like a little mix or something, and then maybe you have a new inspiration for a part that needs to be there, or something that needs to be there. The way I make albums is I call up Ken, I'll go and demo this stuff with me playing everything at his studio, then I'll send it to the band, learn this, then we'll bring them in.
Yeah.
But we only do it one day a week.
See, that's the beauty.
That's why it takes me a year, because we don't go into the studio all this week. We're going to be in the studio Tuesday this week, and then maybe Tuesday next week, and we just chunk away a song at a time.
Yeah, it's right now. Now I think that's the way to do it. Like I've been tinkering with writing some stuff again, and the guys from Shovelhed would like to at some point. Patrick always wants to do originals.
Right.
And my process on the original thing is that if I'm going to write originals, it's one song at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Write one song, have a, we were talking about this before we started, but go into the process with that. I'm selling this song. I'm not writing it for emotional reasons. I'm not writing it for me. I'm writing it because I want this song to hit the public in mass appeal. And that is like it's so hard to understand what society is looking at. Like I was doing some research last week, because streaming, the disparaging, the difference between what an artist used to make based on a radio play compared to what an artist makes on a Spotify stream, it's almost like, you're swimming upstream the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time. There's no break. There's no no way to get off the river. It's constantly upstream. And I think that they've put it that way because now they know not only do they have you by the balls as far as putting the music out there, but they also have you by the balls because you also have to spend a shitload of money to promote it.
Right.
Just to get ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Before we were spending money on 8x10s and CDs and press kits and all the other bumper stickers and T-shirts and all that other shit. But now they add all these extra additional financial burdens that become on the artist. And I wanted to know, like, because I keep seeing these things, Snoop Dogg, $40,000 for 1 billion streams. And I'm like, how could that be possible? And then I looked at, I Googled it, and the highest grossing streamer ever is Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
And it's $396 million in a year. So the $1 billion number that I heard was wrong, but $396 million in a year on streaming. And probably if she'd have come out 10 years ago, it would have been double that amount of money.
Right.
Because you would have had to go buy the physical product. Yeah. And now you don't have any physical product to purchase.
I miss that. That's, people ask me why I make CDs, like, because I'm old school. Because vinyl's too cost prohibitive to make, or I would.
It is at $100 a vinyl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a minimum order of 100 copies.
Yeah.
my whole songwriting philosophy is, I used to, early on, I would kind of think, what will people like? But I always just came back to what I like, because I can tell that story. And it was just a gamble. Maybe I'm the only person that likes the things that I like. But if I'm going to spend the time and the money and the hassle to go into a studio, record a song, release it, I have to like the song.
Right.
So, and I started to trust myself that after my first album came out, like, oh, a lot of people seem to like these songs. So I just kind of trusted my instinct. And now the only one I really write for is me. And I'm not writing I write by myself. Like, I think on the first album, there's 2 tracks that have a co-writer, but the whole second album is just me. And, I like that.
How do you write? Do you write a riff and then a melody, or do you come up with a melody and a lyric first?
I have a very musical brain. So riffs or melodies or whatever come to me frequently. Sometimes lyrics do, but I belabor the lyrics more. Like, I think they're equally as important.
Yeah.
And, so it's like the song that I might play in the debut from my upcoming album. I got the idea for the song in a dream. Like, I dreamed the melody and the lyric.
And you remembered it when you woke up?
It woke me up from my dream. I'm like, what is that? And I sang it into my little voice recorder on my phone. And like, now I have to figure this out. And the music I figured out very quickly. And the melody for the rest, I figured out very quickly. This is over a year ago. I just finished the lyrics this week. And so it's like, okay. And sometimes, like, I can write a song in 20, 30 minutes, but it's always different.
Lyrically, for me, I have I always am, when I write, I constantly second guess the lyric.
Yeah.
So as I write, I usually write with a drum beat. I need a beat first. And then usually what happens is I let the beat play, and the beat could go on for an hour. I could be sitting there for an hour with the beat and just noodling until something speaks to me. And then I'm like, oh, okay, so let's work on that. And then little by little, I'll put pieces and pieces together. And then when I get to the lyrics, it's like I'm the old school guy where I need to have a thesaurus open.
Oh, I use rhyming dictionaries.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, I bought rhyming dictionaries specifically because you get into that whole cycle of your own vocabulary, and you realize how many times you say the same shit.
Yeah.
And there's so many other descriptive ways.
Well, yeah, because it's poetry in a sense, and you're communicating simple ideas that everybody can relate to.
Right.
But you can't necessarily say it as simply as you would. So I had this lyric. I seriously have had this lyric since probably 2003. And I finally was able to place it in a song. And I love the line. It was just a matter of time until your heart came off the unemployment line.
Okay.
And I was able to finally.
You must have finished this after COVID.
Right. Yeah. I put it in, just like last week, I put it in a song, and I think a lot about it. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not, rocket scientist, and I really go by gut instinct. And sometimes a simple throwaway lyric is the right attitude for the song.
Yeah.
And sometimes poetry is the right attitude.
I love Steven Tyler as a lyricist, because there's always some kind of tongue-in-cheek, something within the lyric that kind of forces you to have to second guess what he's saying, know. He's always been that way. And then when the song like Pink came out, and I was like, dude, this is like so perfect, Steven Tyler. Like every line is some kind of fucked up innuendo, which is perfect for him.
Oh, he's brilliant. I love him.
It was always the like love songs that I had a problem with, because
so trite.
Yeah, and it was like at the time when I was writing lots of material, I was married to my first wife. And of course, when you get married, they want all the songs to be about them, and you're just like, yeah, but that's not where I pull.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not where I pull these from. Like, it doesn't work that way,
right.
And then if that's the case, then you need to be more of a muse.
Yeah, for me, it's hard for me to write happy songs. For me to write a love song, it's like, after the love is gone. It's after the love is gone.
Because in your life, in all of our lives, we have felt pain more than we have felt.
It's an easily accessible. So you should have told her, well, if you want me to write songs about, you're going to have to sleep with my best friend and leave me. I'll have an album about you.
It's a whole country record.
Yeah. My God.
And then you're like, I've always found myself in a trap. Do you have a key that you go to more often than not? Like A minor seemed to be the key that I would find myself writing in all the time. And then if I'm very rarely will I just pick up a guitar and have a riff. It'll usually be I'm walking my dog. And part of my process is like I write first thing in the morning. I'm an early morning guy. I don't like to stay up late. I play in a band. How's that work? Right. Yeah.
So I'll get up at usually 6:30, and before I walk the dog, first thing I'll do is I'll sit down and I'll look at the last thing I was working on, like just edit it, just reading it, let it soak in. But a lot of times melodies to things come when I'm walking the dog, and so I'll sing it into my phone, and I'm just singing it in a part of my range that, this is a good meaty part of my range, and then I'll go back to my house and sit at a piano and figure out where that was.
Right.
And sometimes it sucks because it's not in a great guitar key, but I want it to be a guitar song. So then I'm like, do I use a capo? Whatever. But, I don't really have a lot. I don't think a favorite key. I like D a lot.
Yeah. I've begun liking G a lot, but a specific, like a high G,
right?
Because it's forcing me to go beyond my normal comfortability point, and then I have to like really push to get to that high G. But and people don't get that. They don't understand what the fuck we're talking about unless you're a musician, But when for me. You had mentioned that before. It was like how you like to, you're always testing yourself. And that for me is the key to everything, is that I am always competing with myself so hard that I purposely go out of my way to find songs that I can't sing.
And then figure it out.
How,
that's one of the things I admire about you a lot. And one of the reasons I think you should do original music is you have the Shovelhed Nation. You've got
it's a good following.
You've got a great group of people, and I've met a lot of them, and I'm part of it, and it's like, so you've got this amazing thing, and you've earned that respect. You've earned that audience. So I think you should slip in.
It's coming. There's things. There's
good. There should be.
But I end up getting myself into so much stuff. I'm doing so many things that I can never compartmentalize my time properly. So like, podcasts, I got to remember, I want to keep up with the podcast. Right. Otherwise it falls to the wayside. Sure. So, like last couple of days, all of a sudden, this started about 4 days ago. I lost half my hearing in this year. And I've been doing everything I fucking can because it just happened out of nowhere. And I know, like, it wasn't I'm not sick. It's not I didn't blow an eardrum or anything like that. So I'm like, well, what the fuck? So I started peroxiding my ears on Monday. And then by Tuesday, when it didn't clear up, I went out to the store and I bought some other stuff. Other eardrops. And then on Tuesday afternoon, when that still didn't clear up, I went back to the store and I bought something for swimmer's ear. Then today, last night, it was driving me crazy. I called to make an appointment. I go in today at noon, and she's like, oh, honey, it's just packed in earwax.
Oh,
I'm
did
like,
she suck it out?
no, because it's hard.
Yeah.
So it's resting against my eardrum. So she's just like, peroxide 2 to 3 times a day for the next 5 days. She's like, and then hot water, peroxide it, let it sit 5 minutes, drain it out, hot water. Now I'm going to go through this for 3 or 4 days because it's fucked up. Like if I put in-ears in, I can hear okay.
Right.
But right now it feels like I just got off a plane. And this side, perfect hearing. This side, it's all muffled hearing. And I'm.
You got a gig this weekend?
Sunday,
right,
yeah, and it's all Black Crowes, which is all gospel, singing. So normally in the past, I would be panicking. Like right now, I'd be panic mode. But it's clear enough.
There's a point where it gets like, I know that band's not new, but fairly new for you. But there is a point though where those songs become muscle memory.
Yeah, well, muscle memory is a huge saving grace for me because it's when I'm there's got to be do you do Black Diamond when you guys play?
Yeah.
Or what's the other one?
Black Diamond, Hard Luck Woman, Death.
Black Diamond.
That's when I do Black Diamond is when I'm very thankful. We haven't for a while. When I do Black Diamond is when I'm really thankful that Kiss tuned down to E flat.
Yeah, right. Because it's fucking hard. That song is, and you got to put balls in.
I don't sound like Peter Criss when I sing. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see Kiss alive, that's not how I naturally sing, but I do my best to channel.
Yeah.
At least
I think you do a really good job.
Thank you. I try, but I don't have that natural.
And don't tell fucking John I said this, but your makeup is the best.
Who is John?
Yeah, who is John? John, that guy.
I don't know anybody named John.
Guy who wears a star or a bandit or something.
I don't know anybody named John.
He said
he's a good dude.
I called him last week, and I sent him a message. I'm like, John, Eric's going to be here on Wednesday to do the thing. Do you want to pop in and join me? He's like, he would be so fucking mad at me if I popped in there.
I wouldn't care. I'd say you have to sit off camera.
Yeah, he wanted. He's like, I saw his message too.
He wanted to call in.
Yeah, he was calling. I'm like, that's the last thing I'm gonna fucking do.
He's a good dude. He's a good friend.
The Kiss Alive guys, the whole band is fucking good. They're all really great guys. They're and put a shit like there are a lot of Kiss cover bands out there. Each state has their own version of a Kiss band, but you guys really do the show justice.
We try to. It all comes down to, I think, we're all massive Kiss
fans, yeah.
And ironically, what got me into music as a small kid, what got drums were my first instrument, was I wanted to be Peter Criss. And so I got a Pearl drum set in 7th grade. And if you told 7th grade Erik that he was going to be Peter Criss when he got older, I would have said.
Was that your first instrument? Drums?
Drums, yeah. And then about a year later in 8th grade, I discovered a natural aptitude for singing. And my best friend growing up, one of my best friends, Mike, was an amazing drummer and much better than me. And my other best friend, Brad, was a guitar player. So I'm like, well, I want to be in a band with both of them. So I'll be the singer. We don't need 2 drummers. So, and then started dabbling in guitar in high school, wanting to be a songwriter.
Okay.
I wasn't very good. I'm still not very good, but I just wanted to be a songwriter and can't write songs on drums.
I can't polyrhythm.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time, if I could sit behind the drum and I can hi-hat and I can snare and I can keep a very basic beat.
Right.
But ask me to do anything else and I can't. So I can never write on drums. And I always got, I don't know, my whole life I always thought fucking drummers were like the retards of the band. I know this sounds just terrible. It's a terrible fucking thing to say. But, we're the guys that had the least amount of musical fucking knowledge because they were just beating on a drum set the whole time.
It's the least intellectual, but it's It's kinesthetically intelligence.
And yes. And physical intelligence is required, and I'm not physically intelligent.
Well, it's weird because my lovely girlfriend Colleen. Hello, Colleen.
Hi, Colleen.
Love you, baby. She's just a remarkable badass dancer, and her ex-husband, who's a friend of mine, is also a remarkable badass dancer, and their 2 daughters are remarkable badass dancers, and I am an awful dancer.
Yeah, me too.
Uncoordinated as all get out. However, the only place my limbs come together is when I play drums. I can't explain it.
Really?
It just makes sense. It's just, I've just done it. Now,
but when you're playing drums, are you doing math?
Nope.
No.
When I'm playing drums, my focus is I'm grooving as hard as I can, and my job is to steer this ship. Like, if you look at Kiss Alive, like I count off every song, even songs that the drums don't start, even songs that the band starts without the drums. John looks at me, I count it off.
And no click, right?
And the whole time that John's introducing the song, in my head I'm already going, because I don't want it, because Kiss was famous for speeding things up live. I want it to feel like a good live tempo, and I want it to be consistent for the band. And then, so for me, drumming, like, I just do is, I've got the necessary amount of skills, but nothing like our dear friend Patrick, who I adore.
The other night,
he's just an alien, and
he played rock and roll all night.
Yeah.
So fast. It was like Vinnie Vincent on speed.
It's like the Ramones.
Era. It was fucking crazy. Where the hell? Oh, we were at Filthy's. Filthy's? Where the hell were we? No, we were in Daytona at Main Street Station. The last song of the night we're playing was War Pigs. And then immediately after War Pigs, we're now at 12:03 because there's an 8-minute fucking song that, ends up going on. And the last song of our night, every night for 6 years now, has been Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah.
And
we have that in common.
He was just done. And he was sped his way through this fucking song so fast that it was next to impossible. Like,
I get it. Well, what strikes me too, and then on top of that, in terms of like the complication of drumming, is that I'm drumming and singing too.
Right.
And that, strangely enough, isn't as difficult because we're not playing Rush music.
Yeah. See, all my life as a Kiss fan, I had no idea that Erik Carr was as good of a musician as Erik Carr really was.
Mm-hmm.
I just assumed he was just a fucking bass player. A drummer.
Yeah.
And then
he played bass on some of those albums.
Yeah. On Hot in the Shade, I think there's 3 or 4 songs where he played bass on. And then when I was just watching some old footage of him backstage playing like a Kramer something. And what was he playing? He was playing like something that was not easy. It wasn't like an AC/DC riff. It had some meat and potatoes to the riff, and he was just easing his way through it. And I was like, oh shit, I had no idea. As a vocalist, he was a great singer.
Yeah.
And that I always knew. That 80s Kiss, that I was big. I was a big 80s Kiss.
That's fan. When I was born in 75, so, and in 1987, 7th grade is when I got my drum set. So that was...
Oh, Lick It Up. Creatures of the Night.
That was Crazy Nights, that album.
Was it Crazy Nights already?
That was...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Creatures of the Night was 80.
The thing with Kiss is my dad, none of my parents are musicians, but my entire musical taste is owed to them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my first concert was Styx on the Kilroy Was Here tour when I was in 3rd grade.
Oh, wow.
And my mom and dad took me. My parents have seen Kiss with me.
That's actually
6 times each.
That was a huge tour.
Great tour.
Because the Mr. Roboto was like the big fucking thing.
Big stage thing. Yeah, it was great. But my dad he was an airline pilot, and so he was never home, but when he was home, he always had like some honey-do list, go paint the house, go paint the thing. So he'd have a Walkman on, and he would just be singing Kiss or Skinner or Van Halen, or I grew up on really great music.
Yeah.
That was but so I already knew like Dynasty, the album cover from '79. When I saw that as a young kid, I'm like, wow, I'm intrigued and terrified.
At the same time, yes.
And Love Gun, that album cover too. So, and I was really into, but Crazy Nights was the album that just came out. So, I was really into, Alive 2 before I ever heard Alive 1.
So Alive 2 was the first live album I got.
Yeah.
And I actually have 4 copies of it.
Do you really?
Yeah, and have one signed by all 4 guys at different periods of the time. But for me, Alive 2 was like the holy shit moment.
Yep.
Of all, and even to this day, I have people that are like, "Oh, no way, Alive 1 is no way. Listen to Alive 2 again. Listen,
I think
it's fucking great."
For me,
and the photography on the inside, that Gene Simmons with the blood all over.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's like, it's thick fucking blood, and it scared the shit out of me when I was
If you look at Alive, I think Alive is historically more important for Kiss than Alive 2. It was the album that really broke them. And it's a great sounding live album.
That's not really live.
That's not really live. But for me, it was like, well, Alive 2, you have to understand too, the very first Kiss song ever I was obsessed with, and it's still one of my all-time favorite Kiss songs, if not the favorite, is Shock Me.
Okay.
Ace's guitar solo on that, that solo has so much personality. It sounds like him.
Yeah.
It's like where sounds like he's falling down the stairs but landing on his feet.
Yeah.
And I remember that was the first song that me and my best friend Brad would sit in our basement at 12 and 13
Actually,
years old
it's funny.
And try and play.
You can almost see his knock knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you hear the song. Yeah.
Oh, it's great. And that was
Cold
inspired.
Gin was mine.
Oh, cool. We played that in the 8th grade talent show. 8th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Sing a song about gin.
My cousin.
You could do that back then.
My cousin Lenny played drums, and his father actually worked on the Kiss's second tour amplifiers and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And when I used to come up in the summer to visit, I couldn't wait to go over Leonard's house because he played drums, I played guitar, and we would play Cold Gin like for hours.
Great tune.
The one song for hours.
Well, I always found it's interesting. I've actually met all the original members.
Yeah.
And actually except for Vinny, all the surviving members, except for Peter Criss. It's the only one I haven't met.
Peter was the biggest a-hole out of all of them.
When did you meet him?
I met him, it was during his tour for his solo, not Kiss solo record.
Oh, so pre-reunion.
Yeah, it was, yeah, this is like early 90s, mid 90s or something. He was doing a solo tour. And it was a small club. I think it was called Napper Tandy's, if that's the name of the fucking place. It was in Rocky Point, New York. And he showed up in a tour bus, and I found out he was there at the very last minute. And it was one of those, like, I need to grab something from the fucking house for this guy to sign. Right. And the only thing I could find was an Unmasked album on cassette.
Which he didn't play on. Right?
No. And that's probably why he was a dick. And right. I didn't. But
we didn't have, that was pre-internet.
Yeah.
Really. We didn't have that information.
No. And actually, what's really fucking funny is when I got into Kiss wasn't until Lick It Up. Like, that was the first real album that I owned.
That's a great song.
I can remember.
You guys play that, right?
Yeah. No, we don't. It's a little bit too high, I think, for me to do on a continuous basis.
Yeah. I mean, it's high for anybody.
I got the album, and I didn't know that the guys on Lick It Up were not the same guys in Alive 2. And I would sit there with both records.
Trying to figure it out.
Trying to be like, there's no fucking way.
Because he's sticking his tongue out.
Yeah. So, but you could see Gene's face in that. You could see Paul's eyes. Paul's eyes were always defining.
Vinny could almost pass for Ace.
Almost pass for Ace.
Vinny looked like a lizard.
Not Erik. There is no fucking way.
It's not Peter Criss. Yeah.
No. And then, of course, I don't know. Kiss has had so many eras that really, Now I just found out. I read something this morning that Bruce Kulick and John Corabi are gonna
Put
do
Union
a
back
reunion. Union.
Yeah, a Union reunion. Yeah.
I like that. I'm a big John Corabi fan, and Bruce pretty much just anything.
Well,
he plays.
it's interesting because if you ask me Ace was always my favorite member of Kiss.
Yeah.
Always Ace. Like his makeup, the way his eyes looked in his makeup, his personality, like shocked me. There's never been a better song written for the person that sang it. It just it sounds like a Rolling Stone, like a Keith Richards,
well, that's
Mick
the
Jagger.
2000 Man,
and that one
thing.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
And he just has that thing. But if you ask me who are the best players in Kiss, I would say the best people for what Kiss was Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter.
Right.
The best guitarist Kiss has ever had, in my opinion, is Bruce Kulick, by a long shot.
By a long shot. Yeah.
Mark St. John could play a whole lot of notes, but could never play the same thing twice.
Right.
He just was a shredder.
Yeah.
Bruce's musicality and his use of melody and
now Bruce got his start with the Good Rats.
Yeah.
And then he played with Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
Which
Billy
people,
Squires.
Yeah, and people are like,
yeah,
when they find that out. So, and then they go from Kiss to Grand Funk.
Yeah.
For a decade. Like he was Grand Funk
for a long time.
Long time. You have to be versatile to do stuff. The other guy that amazes me every time is Nuno Bettencourt.
Oh,
because he's another guy that could fit with anybody. Like, how do you tour with Rihanna?
Right.
After being an extreme, like they're two total opposites.
He's probably making a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But Nuno is one of those, like when that
he's a savant.
New song, that video they put out for Rise, where it's really a tribute and a salute to Eddie Van Halen, but that guitar solo is ridiculous. And it's like and it was released in an era where nobody does guitar solos.
Right.
And he comes in with one of the coolest.
I met him many fucking years ago. Like I'm going to have to say probably like 92.
Wow.
And he would not shake anybody's hand. His hands, he had $1 million insurance policies on his hands. It was a pornography tour.
Mm.
And I saw Saigon Kick open for them at a college. And the whole band came out and everybody was like friendly and wanted to talk. And Nuno's like walk right past everybody, right into the fucking bus. But, when that album came out and dropped, he was the guy.
Oh yeah.
Nobody was talking about anyone else but Nuno. And I totally got that. I'm like,
yeah,
if you've got something that is going to make you money, insure it the best way that you can.
Do it. Yeah. And he was young and probably not doing this a whole lot. I think he's probably loosened up on that a bit.
Yeah.
But he's ridiculous. And I'm glad that guys like him exist.
Me too, because they force me to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like I hear things when I can't play like that. I can't. I'm not by any means of the way. I'm too lazy.
If you took Nuno's hand and you put it there and you smashed it with a hammer and then said, you can't play guitar for 100 years, but we're vampires.
Right.
I took 1,000 years and practiced every day. He, with his broken hand, would still smoke me.
Yes.
Like still.
Without question.
There is no scenario, if this is a simulation, where I could ever play like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that comes from, like, there are guys that just think
savants.
Music.
I think it's also a form of Asperger's or autism.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
That level
I find that, like, I have ADD, which is why I use, but I self-medicate with THC,
right.
And it drops me down to, my wife can't deal with me unless I'm
mellowed out.
Find myself into this mellowed out area. Otherwise, I'm working on, like, in my head, I have a song going. I have, the riff to this song I'm learning going. I've got creative ideas for this shit going. And if I don't find a way to stifle my mind,
to quiet a few of those voices,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I look at a guy like Nuno and I think that like he can walk into a room and he's just like, oh, fucking A minor B, you know, like it's like
He's just he just has complete and total control over that instrument.
yeah. I will never be that.
I will never be that either. That's one of the things I love about music is, you know, when I'm doing, like I have a rock trio that I play with. It's just me on guitar and vocals, bass player, singer, drum singer, and we all sing, and it's just 3-piece. And we'll just get requests and we say, listen, we've never played this, but we'll
fake it. Yeah.
We'll do it. And that's the only time, because you and I feel similarly strongly about these. It's the only time that I use like a tablet.
Right.
Is like, I got to pull up something, a reference, lyric or something. But then I get to the song. Oh crap! There's a solo in this song. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not even used to this key. So like forcing yourself out of your comfort zone and just going for it, even if it's a beautiful disaster.
You know how I got into how that, what I had to do was when I moved down here, there were so many fucking open mics everywhere. And I didn't know anybody. And I never was a guy that would feel comfortable just showing up at an open mic and getting up and dancing. Like I'm not a showboat dancer. And I always felt like I would, you know, you go there and there's always a couple of fucking showboats in the audience. And I'm always like, you know, I'd rather just hide in the back and and then I started getting into doing it. And what it forced for me, even after years and years and years of playing, was to break that spell of always having to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, because when you put yourself out of that comfortability mark, that's when improvisation gets.
That's where you grow.
Everywhere, vocally. Yeah. You know, like there are things now that I can do now that I couldn't do a year ago, and it all just comes from testing the fucking waters, not being afraid to crack or make a mistake or whatever, you know. Or I'm also anal when it comes to, like, I record every show.
That's great.
Whether it's video or audio or whatever, and I may even.
How often do you listen back?
On the way home.
Okay, so you've listened to every show you've recorded.
Every show.
That's awesome.
Every show. And because in my head, I already know where the mistakes are or where things that I did differently that I liked are. And I maybe I won't watch the whole show, but I'll go to those cue points that I already have in my head and I'll be like, oh, what did I do there?
Yeah, I want to remember it.
Yeah, because, and of course I could never get it exact because it was spontaneous. It was
that moment.
Yeah.
That moment will never come back again. Yeah.
And I live for those. Like when I'm on stage, I almost want to be in a place that forgets there's an audience, that forgets that there's, I just want to be in the music.
Yeah.
Like there's guys on stage with me that are emitting an emotion, or a flamboyance or whatever it is that can only be done with those three guys on that stage.
It's their sauce.
Yeah. And then, so I want to be able to just be the piece that fits right in that puzzle. And that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, cause there's 3 other personalities going on there. And then I want to lose sight of the audience so that I can focus on what's going on between those other 3 guys.
Yeah.
That for me is
synergy. Yeah.
That's the music.
No, I love it. It's weird. The girl I'm dating, we've been friends for a lot of years. Now that we've been dating, it's like, she's like, I'm surprised by how much of an introvert you truly are. And I am.
Meg says the same thing.
About you? Really?
Yeah, because
I am introverted all.
I don't want to leave my fucking house if I'm not playing.
Right.
You know?
And I'm introverted, in just my daily life, probably 90% of the time.
Yeah, but you're not. You're just in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even still, like, I'm like you. Like, when I want to recharge, recharging to me doesn't sound like going to a bar downtown. Recharging to me goes, oh, I'm going to watch Netflix or read a book.
Yeah.
I want to be away from people because that's my job is always around thousands of people.
With people.
But when I step on stage, it's this different thing. It's like, I can't explain it except there's this kind of spell that music casts.
Yeah.
And it hits us first, and just there's something magical about it. I just come out of my shell, and that's equally essentially me. It's just it's only seems to be reserved for those moments, for music, music.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Do you think that there is a part of you that you can only display on a stage that you can't be off stage? Like, is
possibly? Well, yeah, I think
are there two
stage,
yous?
No, but I think there's different sides of me, and like for instance, we talked before we started shooting this. There's, I think, to do what we do, you have to have a healthy amount of ego to think, listen, I'm good. I want you to watch me do this.
Right.
Because to me, music, just four of us in a room playing music is fun.
Right.
But where that seed hits the egg is when there's an audience.
Yes.
And there's the sharing, like they're equally important to what we're doing. It's not the same vibe without the audience.
Right.
So for me to walk, when I'm in stage and playing guitar, I've got a little bit of cocksure arrogance, and I don't need that in any other part of my life.
Right.
I wouldn't like myself if I'm walking in the grocery store like,
yeah. No, actually, it fucking like that part of it freaks me out. Because it happens everywhere in this town that I end up going. Is somebody will be like, "Fucking Shovelhed," or "Aren't you the guy?" And yes, of course, I like that. I like the recognition, but not all the time.
Sure.
And it's the same with you're 100% right about the ego and the narcissism that gets attributed to it, because it is you're in this position where the only way to sell yourself, or the only way to sell your product, which is you, is to talk about it.
You're selling you is exactly what you're doing.
Exactly. It's I attributed this too, is that you always know when you go to a party, you always know the musicians in the room, because they're off in some fucking corner somewhere, and they're all talking about music and themselves. Like
we're not very interesting people. We're kind of nerds,
but it's the fucking truth.
It's true.
How do I learn though? That's how I learn.
Mm-hmm.
I learn because you're going to say something in your journey through you're creating your music, and especially when you're somebody who's doing it 100%. So if I sit down with you and we were off the air and we had an actual discussion about the design of the CD, what people don't understand is that when I was sitting and designing CDs in my head, not only was I thinking about what's going to draw the attention when you look at the cover of the CD, but if I take this CD and I take this CD and I put them in a rack of CDs,
it's the black and gold,
which one is the one that stands out the most? Right. And now it would be the yellow one because it's the brightest. And so I actually did that. I went to the record store when there were record stores and looked at the CD display, and I said, okay, well, which ones are the ones that stand out the most? Because it doesn't matter what I put on the cover.
Right.
It matters.
That spine.
Yeah. And it was a white, believe it or not, white with black lettering was the ones that stood out the most. But of course, now as an artist, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, fuck that. I'm going to make this the coolest looking CD cover that there is. And you don't realize that, and I'm just, yours are great, but you don't realize that there is that whole other aspect to the art.
There's that 1,000 decisions you make on an album that have nothing to do with music.
From the spine artwork to the song structure to the I even got to the point where I was trying to figure out how to design my own barcodes that I could legally, like, my barcodes had my children's birthdays in them, and I wanted to figure out how I can register the barcode.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Like there were all kinds of fucking things that I would think about of business ways that you could go about getting this to people so that they could see it, they could touch it. They, you know, like nowadays, occasionally I will see some people show up at, you know, they're at a gig selling their CDs, and I wonder, like, who the fuck even still has a CD player?
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
In fact,
I don't.
So much so, I went on Amazon and I ordered a fucking CD player, like a CD portable, for my car.
That's
because
awesome.
I got sick and tired of every time I would listen to something on the streaming platform, I felt guilty.
Yeah.
And then I realized after a little while, what I also did was I allowed technology to allow me to not listen to an album from start to finish, which is what got me to love music to begin with.
Right. It's all songs and singles.
Yeah.
And it's not in any
a couple of years
order.
ago, I went hardcore LP, only LPs. It's all I would listen to. I bought anything new that I thought was good. I would make sure that it came out on a vinyl record, and if it didn't, I would wait until it did.
Yeah.
Or there were. So I built this. You know, my LP collection is really huge. But then I got into this fucking habit of. I'm a big thrift store guy. Like half of this house is thrift store things. I like used things that have character and have a story. But then I go into the thrift store and I'm finding all these CDs for 99 cents. And I'm looking at the CDs and I'm thinking, like, you know, like, I don't know, let's say Eagles, Hotel California. Mm-hmm. That's worth way more than 99 cents.
Yeah.
And then in my mind, I'm thinking, I have to save this.
Yeah.
And this is what I did. I started I got myself into this fucked up place of saying, I'm going to start saving this stuff. I'm going to save this music because no, it's not. What it really is it's just curbing my need to buy shit.
Well, the sentiment is nice.
But I have every Eagles album on CD, every Eagles album on LP, you know.
Have you gone to 8-track it?
It'll strike my mood. Like the thing is too, in the car, to be able to take a drive and listen to the first Black Crowes album, the way it was meant to be listened to.
Right.
Or Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, the way it was meant to be listened to. There is an art form there that is lost, that today's generation and my kids' generation will never understand.
It is sad.
It is sad because there's the story.
It's like just hearing a song is like just reading the first page of one chapter of a book.
Yeah.
There's a bigger.
When you're writing, so I'm not going to talk about this one because this one was written over fucking 20 years worth of time. Yeah. But this is a snapshot of the period of your life.
The first album was very much born out of a relationship that ended, and I wrote half of that album about this one girl that broke my heart in 2006. I was very aware that I really like the songs, but man, it's just so much about this one thing from 1,000 different angles.
Right.
So much about this thing, broken heart, you know, boy meets girl, boy loves girl, boy loses girl, boy writes song.
Right.
For the second album, You Can Have All You Want, I intentionally set out to have as little to no songs about lost love or love songs in general.
Right.
And so I wrote the title track, and then I wrote this song called Bones. They're not about that. And I wrote a song for my father who has Alzheimer's. So, and then by the end of it, there were probably the entire album, 3 of the 9 songs were love songs, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's about right.
You went from 6 to 3, so at least you cut it in half.
Yeah. So,
yeah, but see, those are the two. So here's your deal. You know, heartbreak and love, the two strongest felt emotions. They're going to be the easiest ones to connect to a spectator. But they're not the easiest songs to write.
Not necessarily, no. I don't. Megan
keeps asking me. She's like, "When are you going to write me a song?"
Right.
And I'm
Well,
like it doesn't work that way.
If she breaks your heart and
Yeah,
burns
then
down your
maybe.
house,
Yeah.
I get asked this quite a bit about my process, and I can tell you, I can't tell you necessarily my creative process intellectually. I can say my process is I get up early, I sit down at the piano with a guitar or my laptop, and I kind of go through the ideas that I've had.
Do you sleep good?
Sometimes.
Do you dream?
I don't remember much dreams.
Me neither.
I did write a song that I haven't even recorded yet. It's coming up on my next album, which I'm working on now, where I dreamed the lyric and the melody.
That's cool.
And it kind of woke me up out of my sleep, and I immediately recorded it and grabbed the guitar to kind of set the key.
Bear with me here, okay? Just because my mind is going to go somewhere with the thought process. So, why do you think it is that you wake up in the morning and are of things?
It's when I'm freshest, when I'm most at rest, and it's when things are most peaceful in my environment. It's before I've busied my brain with 10,000 things I need to do today at work or around the house or pick up the dry cleaning.
It's my favorite time.
It's my favorite time. I like getting up early because I feel like I have the world to myself.
Right.
And I feel like I'm 3 hours ahead of anybody else.
Yeah.
So I always think, like, for me, I also work out first thing in the morning after my creative brainstorming session because I figure, like, I want to do the hardest thing I'm going to do all day to my body first thing in the morning. But anything after that is just easy.
You know what my workout consists of? Sometimes pressing the button on the coffee maker.
Hey?
No, but seriously, so I do marketing for a bunch of different bands and a couple of different businesses. And I don't do the way that I work on my marketing is I work with I use a lot of AI.
Yeah.
But in order to use AI, you have to have actually a creative mind to describe what it is that you want.
Right.
And my brain, as soon as I wake up, as soon as I have my first cup of coffee, my brain starts rapid firing. And I literally, in the first 3 hours of me being awake, what I do is I go outside, I sit at that pub table that I have in my screen room there.
Yeah. I
watch the neighborhood wake up, and my brain just fires off all the ideas, and I will just start working on marketing and things and this idea sparks that idea, and that idea sparks this idea, and then I have to hit the gummies, because if I don't hit the gummies, I can't slow down enough to work on
focus, to laser in on an idea.
Yeah.
I get that.
But that's my morning. And when you said that you don't remember your dreams, I wondered maybe if that was the same reason why my mornings are spitfired like that too. I never.
Yeah, I don't
ever remember a dream.
I don't. It's been years. Occasionally I'll remember something, and I'm not really into, I mean, I believe in it. I know some people that are good at it, and I've had dreams interpreted, I would say, pretty accurately, but my dreams are never really, when I do have them, when I do remember them rather, it's not very cohesive.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything.
Mine never do. Like I think like 3 or 4 times a year will I wake up in the morning and be like, holy shit, like I had a dream. Like I'm surprised that I could recall something that went on in a dream. And the one time that it really got to me was I give myself B12 shots. And the first time that I did it, I gave myself a B12 shot over not having done it for a long period of time. Right. That night, like I dreamed like holy shit dreams, like a year's worth of dreams all in one night. And the next morning I woke up and I was like, wow. And I got excited.
Yeah.
Because I was like, shit, man, if that's finally I can remember a dream, I'm going to do a B12 shot every night.
Yeah.
Because when you don't, like, I envy people that can dream and then write about it.
Yeah. I wish I could. I wish I could. That would be interesting subject matter. But I have this theory about songwriting, and it sounds really cliche, but I don't know where that comes from. I believe in God. I believe God is out there, and I believe a little whisper in the ear of inspiration. Or maybe these songs, maybe these melodies, maybe these lyric lines are floating through the ether, and when my brain's quiet and I'm searching
That's
for
when
it,
you can hear it.
I find it.
Okay.
But also, I'll also say this: like, I've written 2 albums. I know what all the songs are going to be on the next album, and I've got most of them completed. But every time I write a song, I'm like, I'll probably never be able to write another one. It still amazes. I don't know. I don't ever wake up with the idea I'm going to write a song because no. I sit down and I put in the time, and the meditation and the thinking on it. And every time it works out, I'm like, oh, that was really good. I'm never going to write another song
until the next idea.
It's a cycle, you know. And I've learned too is that there has to be some discipline involved, which is like I have to set aside the time to get in that headspace. But I also don't belabor it. If I'm sitting there for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and I'm like 20 minutes, okay, we're done.
Yes. Well, you can't force it because what you end up doing is you end up falling into a formula that actually is not creative.
Right.
It's creative hindering.
Sure.
Because you're just pulling from a habit rather than actually pulling from inspiration
for sure. Yeah.
So speaking of inspiration, you feel like singing?
Yeah, let me see.
I want to hear the song, and it'll be my first time actually that I can do it in here and focus the camera directly on you.
So this is where did you want me to put the microphone?
Oh, just put the mic here because I think it's going to pick up too hotly, and face me over here. Oh, we're in for a treat, you guys.
Okay, so this is a song. This is the song where I dreamed the melody line and the lyric line from the chorus. My voice. I need to stop calling. My voice is a little tired, so bear with me. And also, like, nobody but my girlfriend's heard this song, so this is new for everybody. It hasn't even been recorded yet.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
It's called "The Dream Is Over Tonight." The dream is over tonight. I just keep on searching, but the words won't come out right. It seems I'm nowhere to find. I don't know the reason, but the dream is really over tonight. And I'll let you hear the rest of the song when I record it.
You brought my wife out. She came out to hear it too.
Hey.
How long did it take you to write that?
I started it about a year ago.
Okay.
And pretty much fleshed out the music and the first verse and the chorus pretty quickly. I finished the lyrics this week.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
So, and there's a whole second verse in the bridge that I didn't play, but
I can remember when I was in high school, and I first I can remember a whole period of my life where the spark said you're going to become a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up in a little town in East Texas, and very much Friday Night Lights, 10,000 people at a high school football game, and you were expected to play sports. And ninth grade, I was on the ninth grade football team, and the coach gave all the kids the ultimatum. Anybody that had hair sticking out of the back of the helmet had to cut your hair.
Yeah.
And I that summer was the summer that I started letting my hair grow. So of course I had this 90s mullet thing going on, and or 80s mullet thing happening. And I refused, and I put my foot down, and I was like, fuck this, I'm done. No more football, no more sports, no more. I'm going full throttle into music. And I don't remember where I was going with this. That's the problem with the drinks.
That was delightful.
No, but it was that I just you get your. I used to carry around this 5 subject notebook. The 5 subject spirals.
Yep.
That literally had hundreds of poems and things in it, and I found it like 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I went through it, and I was like, it's such a weird thing to look back at. Like, so back then I was really, really, really big into Megadeth and the early Metallica, Ride the Lightning, and stuff like that. And the Dio and things where the only things to write about were war.
Yeah.
And dragons and demons and shit
Lord
like that.
Rings stuff.
And I read back in some of these songs that I was writing, and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? But then I put this. I can remember the snapshot in my brain at the time was listening to Creatures of the Night, War Machine.
Oh yeah.
And
Bryan Adams co-wrote that song.
Yeah. Isn't that the weird one? That's really, and he just re-recorded.
He did that in Rock and Roll Hell too.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah. He's one of my all-time favorites. He's just ridiculously good.
He is ridiculously good.
His voice and his songwriting.
Know until I saw him playing with Brian Setzer like 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
So Setzer used to come and do the tour.
Yeah.
And one year, Bryan Adams was part of his band. And to watch the two of them trade bluegrass leads and shit was like, holy shit, it was fucking.
I didn't know he could play like that.
But
he's had like the same guitar player since 1978 or something.
Has he?
Keith Scott, same guy.
Oh yeah,
on all those songs.
I saw a lot of these guys, the old guys, are like that. Like Tom Petty's guy, Mike Campbell,
Mike Campbell,
fucking ever, like the whole career.
Yeah, and most of the Heartbreakers too were with him.
Were they the whole time?
Yeah.
Something like Billy Joel, that's another one. His whole band for many, many years, until the last couple of decades. Same drummer, Liberty DeVito.
Billy Joel is, which none of my music sounds like, is one of my top.
Mine too.
3 favorite artists of all time.
I could listen to Billy Joel's Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2, like repeat play.
I think he's the American Paul McCartney. He's so versatile.
I think it's so. I'm sure that there are 100 people my father's age that would say no, it's Bob Dylan, and I totally disagree and agree with you. I think that.
Well, look at Ballad of Billy the Kid,
right?
Angry Young Man, and Pressure. The same guy did those 3.
Here's why I'm gonna say it could never be Bob Dylan, because Bob Dylan could never reach the sheer number of people that Billy Joel did by crafting the story and the pop sensibility it's not that's an art form.
Yeah.
You know, and like people will say, oh, sell out this, sell out that, blah, blah, but there is an art form to being able to write a fucking song like Downeaster Alexa.
Oh yeah.
Or Allentown. Like, granted,
yeah.
If you think about that,
he wrote a pop song about a dying steel city,
which is
Steeltown.
It's a great
and it's
song.
A great
too.
song.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have triples of every LP.
Do you really?
Yeah, because every time I see them,
you buy them.
I just keep buying.
I have on my living room table, kind of as conversation pieces. I have Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, Billy Joel, Glass Houses, Nylon Curtain, Innocent Man, all these, and my dog completely tore apart. Song. Oh, great album.
Yeah.
My dog tore apart the Glass Houses, like shredded it. And shredded the vinyl too, not just the cover.
What kind of dog?
Husky.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I know. It's my fault. He wasn't exercised enough. But if you listen to, like, Innocent Man, which is his doo-wop album.
Yeah.
This night.
See, when
that's Beethoven.
For me, it was my father. When that album came out, my father flipped his shit because he was like, a cappella.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because my dad grew up in the 50s in the doo-wop era.
Yeah.
And he, like, my dad would come from, we were young, you know, teenagers at the time, but my dad would come out of a hallway with a brush as a microphone,
right,
singing the songs off of that.
It's an amazing album. And the thing about Billy Joel is, like, his critics early on in his career said, oh, he's just a piano guy, whatever. Yeah. And so he goes and writes, what was it, Glass Houses, which was all guitar.
All guitar.
You know, Big Shot, Still Rock and Roll to Me.
Fucking
you may be right.
Yes. Actually, you may be right. I thought he wrote for Queen.
Oh, really?
Because when I hear that song, I hear Freddie Mercury.
Right.
In it, and you know, like, there are certain songs at certain periods by certain artists that I could hear other artists singing the song.
But the longest time is, Uptown Girl is Frankie Valli.
Oh my God, that's a great song too. Uptown
a great
Girl.
Song, yeah.
But to see now again, of course, for that is Christy Brinkley, the song Uptown Girl. I see the video in my head right away. You know,
walking car guys.
Piano Man, Captain Jack.
So many good
scenes
songs
from an Italian restaurant. Fucking all of them. And I grew up in New York, on Long Island, and I bumped into him twice.
Oh wow!
My ex-wife worked on his eyes, like worked for an ophthalmologist, and he was one of those guys that everybody had bumped into at one point or another, and he was like your hometown guy, Long Island guy, and it was just, I always felt that even from when I was a kid to now, I could pop on any Billy Joel song and relate to just about any of the songs. Like, there's something I can relate to in anything he's ever done.
He's just a master. Like, his lyric writing is great. His compositional brain is.
Who else would you say matches a Billy Joel? Is there one?
Well, the reason I say that he's comparable to McCartney is McCartney was very, he could really write in a bunch of different styles. Yeah. It wasn't like he was limited to this thing. You know, Billy Joel's that way. Like, I don't.
You think I think he probably puts his mind to us.
I think he's just such a good musician that he can pull it off. Like
Elton John
always
can't write the lyric though. Yeah, you're right.
I think right. Elton John's got a great sense of melody. In terms of American songwriters, I'm not a huge fan. I like some of his stuff, but Bruce Springsteen tells a story. You know,
Paul Simon
was the next one I was going to say. I think those two.
It's kind of fucked up that we have to say they're all 70.
Yeah.
You know, like, who is going to be the today's guys?
Well, I don't.
You know, there's so if I have to go, I don't think there are songwriters today. I think there are just artists.
Well, it's funny you say today, but it's not today anymore. I was going to say I think the last two artists that excited me the most in terms of their talent, but their songwriting, which my first album is very heavily influenced my writing by John Mayer.
Okay.
This was a guy that took these pop songs, but like he's adding all these musically nutritious chords choicing.
See, I loved Body is a Wonderland.
Oh yeah. Second album.
A lot of people fucking hated it because it became that he became kind of the butt of a lot of musicians' jokes. Right. But songwriting wise, like I'm jealous of that song because that is I always wanted to write a song that would turn a chick on like instantly, and that is the type of a song.
And the lyrics to that song are brilliant.
Yeah.
But if like John, that was his first album. His second album, Heavier Things, there's a song on there called Wheel, and it's where the lyric and the music just meld in. It sounds like what the lyrics are, and the lyrics sound like what it is, and it's kind of this. It just makes me cry every time I listen to it. It's.
You think that he went to play with Dead and Company to prove himself?
No, I think he'd already done that. I think he does whatever he feels like doing.
Yeah.
You know, I still love his early music. I kind of stopped. I think Born and Raised, which was kind of more, not country, but kind of more of that kind of folkier, or he kind of stepped back from the pop with elements of blues writing.
Because he went celibate.
And possibly, yeah. Well, he's one of those guys went around Katy Perry, Jennifer Love Hewitt, like. But that's
every one of our dream girls.
Yeah. And then the next artist, and again, both of these people have had careers for 20 years now, is Sarah Bareilles. Not gonna write you a little song. Yeah. She wrote the whole musical Waitress.
Okay.
She is genius.
Yeah.
Songwriter.
And a 20-year career.
And she's been, I think the first album probably came out at least.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that surprise me that most people don't realize, like Linda Perry.
Yeah.
Linda Perry, they're going to be like, who the fuck is Linda Perry? I'm like, Four Non-Blondes. Yeah. What's up? And
then produced Pink's biggest album at the time.
And wrote with her many songs for many artists. And it's fucking weird when you get into the who wrote what's and things like that, because people don't know that. They don't follow it. Like that's another issue that is lost in the art form of music, is the picking up the record and knowing who produced it.
Right. Reading
who wrote this song, who wrote that song, and then if you found out that it was a song that wasn't written by the artist that's singing it, well, then you'd start doing some research. You know, like there was always something to learn off of music, which today's speed of
everything's digestible and quick, and short.
Quick, dude.
All has the same sound. The
breathy thing drives me crazy.
That's
can't. Britney Spears breathing crap.
Yes, yeah. I can't. To be honest with you, people ask me who I listen to, and when I'm not working, which is rare, I never listen to music.
Me neither.
I don't. I listen to podcasts. I read a book.
I don't
listen to music for enjoyment anymore, and I'm not saying that proudly. I'm like, I wish I did. But when I'm not working, I got to step away from it. You know?
Yeah, but see, that's a burnout. There's a level of burnout that you reach too. Like when I leave a gig, it doesn't matter where I'm playing. If I'm playing in Fort Lauderdale and it takes me 2 hours to get home, I don't listen to anything. Yeah. Anything.
Silence.
I want dead silence. When you touched on that before, where it was, I have a million friends that always want to hang out. Always want to get together, or they want to, come over for dinner, or have a dinner party, or blah, blah, blah. And of course, the thought in my mind at the time is always like, sure, that sounds like fun. Let's have a Monopoly night or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then it gets to the point in my head where I'm like, I really don't want to be around people anymore.
Right.
Like I just spent, the whole weekend around people, and not just people amped up on alcohol.
Yeah.
And
loud
environment, smelly environment, fucking, watch my back, legal environment, the whole 9 yards.
Hey, yes.
And then come Monday, I want to zone out. Monday to Thursday, I don't want to deal with nobody.
Right.
Nobody. I barely want to make it to the supermarket.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. Yeah. So I couldn't even tell you. I know Teddy Swims.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about any artist right now.
I don't either, because like I like Jelly Roll, but I had to force myself to go buy the album.
I found out about him through a Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah. Isn't that fucking weird?
Yeah.
Post Malone, I watch out of curiosity because the guy dances like my father, and he's making millions of fucking dollars.
Oh yeah.
And crossing genres.
Well, Post Malone was somebody that when I had heard their music, I'm like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
It's just basic, and I don't really think he can sing. And so I had this preconceived notion of him when I caught him on Joe Rogan's podcast. I came out of that podcast like loving the guy.
Yeah.
Like he just seems like a sweetheart, doesn't take himself
down to earth guy.
Generous.
I always thought
then I became a fan. Yeah.
I always thought like this guy is on meth or
and all the tattoos.
Shit.
Yeah, this is a weirdo.
And he's actually smart.
Yeah,
he's
very
bright.
smart.
And but it takes getting into those podcasts and situations to actually know about people anymore, because all they're doing is let's just say, for sake of argument, I don't listen to him. I never will listen to him. But a guy like Machine Gun Kelly, rather than focusing on this guy and his music and selling his music to his fan base of kids, they focus on him and Megan Fox.
Right.
What, this isn't that kind of what ruined Eminem for a while? Like Eminem got so popular that he wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, they make a calculation that if they're talking about him, maybe they'll be drawn to the music.
Yeah, but that's never the case.
It's hardly ever because he's popular they talk about him.
No, because today's society is, if you're popular, there's more people that hate you than actually like you.
Right. Taylor
Swift, I think, has more haters than she has followers, but she just has a very rabid follower.
She has a lot of I'm a big fan of, like, I have, and I like when you post on stuff like this, because like I have a political party that I belong to. I have thoughts about things, but I don't hold allegiance to a party.
Anyone. Yeah.
I'll look at the candidates and the parties and go, I just think today on this issue, this one sucks a little less than the other one.
Right.
What I hold true to and what is unshakable is my values. Saying all that, if I were a hyper successful singer songwriter on Joe Rogan or any podcast talking about my career, I would want to steer clear of anything political. Like,
yes,
you have Democrat and Republican fans, and that's what I respect about Kiss. Is they're like,
they don't give a shit.
They don't care. They don't talk about it. We're not.
I get into trouble though, and there is a balance.
But the reason I said I respect what you do is like you give it to both sides.
Yeah, because I don't believe in either one of them.
Right, and I've from knowing you, like, I have an idea of where you sit. I see you as leaning one way more than the other, but certainly independent minded, which is what I am becoming the older I get. Because I'm so disillusioned with both parties, but that's okay. Like, I feel like
I consider myself a realist.
Yeah.
And in order to be a realist, you have to take emotion out of the situation.
Gotta lead with logic.
And my entire life, every mistake I have ever made, I've led by an emotion. Rather than by logic.
Yep.
And the truth is that all those times my father said, think about it before you
speak. Yeah.
It's fucking true.
Very true.
In every aspect of every single thing that I do in my life, it's smarter for me to sit back and think about it and then open my mouth based on a realism, not on my gut feeling, not what I want it to be, not what your gut feeling is, but based on my observations that say, this is real. So if I choose this, here is the outcome. If I don't choose this, here is the outcome.
We can't live as if the world exists as we want it to be.
No.
You have to recognize as it is.
I grew up and we won't go down this, I'm just gonna stay in the realism path here instead of going political. But I grew up, my father always said to me, you need to have a career. You need to have a career. You need to have a career. You need to, that whole generation, those guys worked 20, 30 years and got to retire and blah, blah, blah. And then, so I come out of high school, I take a couple of years of college, I get into a business, it's a career, and 7, 8 years into it, I got laid off. But then everybody around me, the same thing was happening too. All these, my generation of people, the layoffs for careers, people were changing jobs constantly. And that forced me to look at the situations and say, no, man, it's not the Democrat and it's not the Republican. And I may lean more, one way than the other, but as both of them are both fucking everything up left and right and have been doing it for 200 fucking years. And the little guys here that suffer just keep suffering. Yeah.
The kind of person that we would really want representing us in office is too smart to run.
Too fucking smart to run. But see now, let's not go into this because I thought Musk was going to be the answer. And then he's tirading like a child over not having his subsidies. And
I think he said he didn't really care about the subsidies. He cares about adding trillions to it, the debt. But I like the whole idea of we've been doing it with politicians for hundreds of years now.
Right.
And it's sucked. I like the idea from either side of the aisle, whether you're left or you're right. I love the idea of a guy like Musk and
somebody that's not a politician.
And Trump is one of the things that, was valuable to people about him, or RFK.
But the same thing with Reagan.
These outsiders. Reagan.
Schwarzenegger.
Yes. All of them. I think what the country craves is simply authenticity.
Yeah.
And if I think that you're telling me the truth, if I can believe that, then I can deal with any disagreement.
Yeah, but see, I was thinking, it's so fucked up. I was thinking about this yesterday in the car. The presidents that have been around that I can remember since I've been alive in 50 years. Nixon, fucking liar. Okay. Carter, fucking liar.
Yeah.
Reagan, fucking liar. Clinton, fucking liar.
Oh, yeah.
George W. and George W. Jr., fucking liars. Obama, like a liar.
Yeah.
Fucking Joe, a liar. Yeah. Trump, a liar. I have not had a single fucking president that has sat back in my entire lifetime that has been a partial, partial, honest fucking president. I think there's been bullshit in every one of them.
Of course.
And they all keep getting caught in it too. And nobody's learning.
And there's no, it's crazy.
None of them are better than the others.
They're all just
puppets.
Same tiger, different stripe.
I think they're all puppets. I don't think, and unfortunately it's it's the big boys club, just like you see in every other business and every other atmosphere. And that's the way the world works.
Unfortunately. That
the strongest rise to the top.
Yep.
And the weak don't. And unfortunately it's a money thing. If I had, I don't know. If I had all the money in the world, I don't know that it would change my habits.
Right, but you would be much different.
Yeah, I think I'd still be a thrift store shopper. I would just buy better thrift store shit.
Right. Well, I was thinking this, wanted to say this earlier too. When I first moved to Florida from Pittsburgh, I moved to Fort Pierce and I worked at the Waves record store in the Vero Beach Mall.
Okay.
And then I got fired.
You got fired. Yeah. See, I worked at a record store my whole my senior year in high school, my 2 years after that. And then when I got married, my first marriage, as soon as I got married, I was working at a record store on the weekends as a second job. I just fucking loved it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? For me, it was just,
Get a discount.
I'm in my goddamn element.
To stare at albums all day. I love it.
It was that, or work in a guitar store. They said if I had to work in a guitar store, I'd have to listen to shitty guitar players plucking shitty songs all day. And that I couldn't handle. But like, this is back in the day. Do you remember when they had the big yellow book? And if you wanted to, special orders.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I would live in the special
Japanese
order
imports.
book to see all the shit that I could get.
Yep.
You know, there was a period of time where, I couldn't get a copy of the Margarita song on CD or something because it was during the transition between LP to CD and cassette, and it wasn't out yet, and I had to special order it. And it took months, like 6 months to get a special order back in those days.
That's crazy.
And now you just call it up on YouTube and it's there.
It's a different world, man.
So where's your next gigs, man?
I'm, let's see, tomorrow I'm playing at, with the Starstruck band at Epic Universe.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I should have gotten into an hour ago when we were talking, was that he plays at SeaWorld, also plays at Universal. So
Disney for years.
Years. You did a whole bunch of cruises too, right?
Yeah, I sing in a Frankie Valli tribute show, and we've done all the Disney ships, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Princess.
World class. And around here, he plays at Captain Hiram's.
Yep.
So definitely check their schedule because he does a solo show at Captain Hiram's.
Can I tell you a funny story about Captain Hiram's? Johnny, who books entertainment there, every time I walk in, there's the little blackboard where the name of who's playing that day is. My last name is Winger, Winger. Aside from Smith, there's probably not a simpler name. I've walked in a dozen times that I've played there. My name has been right on that board one time. It's Ringer with W-R-I, or it's Wigner.
Oh my God.
Or it's something else.
But what is it online? Is it right online?
It's right online. And I text a picture every time and I send it to Johnny. Here we go.
Oh my God.
He's like, oh my God. It's like not hard.
Yeah, but they might do it on purpose now.
I think they might. They might. But I play there solo. I also play there in the WW2 duo with me and Rusty Wilmot.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. And my original band's played there once, and we're trying to get back out there this year, next year. So
where's the next Kiss shows?
We're flying Friday
Michigan, right,
to Battle Creek, Michigan to do some stuff, and back Sunday. So our show is on Saturday.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Fly in, fly out the next day.
Gotta love that.
Yes, I do. I like to travel, but, you know, we never get much time to see much beyond the airport.
Nobody ever does.
And the hotel. But
I would prefer to sleep in my own bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I play Clearwater, I don't even stay over.
Really?
I'll drive out early because it's a nice drive. You know, it's actually a stressless drive out there. But I'll drive out there early. I'll hang out and eat and whatnot. I do the gig. I fucking pack up and drive to 3 hours home just so I could sleep in my own bed.
Right.
You know, there's just something about coming home to my house without having to go and do another hotel. Plus, in my mind, I'm thinking I'm saving money.
It's the practicality part. I do a lot of work, solo acoustic, where I'll be. I did one. This was insane. I did one where I was in Key Largo on a Saturday, and then had to be the next day at the Ritz-Carlton in Amelia Island.
Oh my God.
7-hour difference. And so I crashed at my friend's place in Stewart. So I was there. I was kind of a lot of the way up the road.
Right.
Got up early at 6 a.m., drove the rest of the way to my house, went to bed for a couple hours, and then drove. But I'm the same way. Like, I routinely drive 3, sometimes 3.5 hours to a gig, and I never, because I'm like, that gig just paid me half as much. I go to a hotel.
Yeah, well, that's it. And then I'll say to myself, like even driving across the state. See, I have an economical car. It cost me $35 round trip to go to Tampa and back.
Right.
Then I look at that and I say, okay, but I'm making $350. So if I only cost me $30 in gas, I'm still making $320.
Yeah.
So I lost a couple of fucking hours, but I like to drive.
Right.
Now, in that amount of time, that is perfect for a Joe Rogan podcast.
That's exactly why.
By the time I get to the other side, I've almost had the whole podcast going, you know, or whatever the case is. I'll do that on the way home if it's a long ride. I'll listen to Joe Rogan, or I'll put on the comedy station or something just to not hear music, not have a beat going. I don't want.
I like it because it's you know, coming back. Most of the time, I'm by myself, you know, on these long drives, and I'm coming home. Like the podcast for me, like. It forces me to be interested in something. It kind of keeps me alert.
Keeps you thinking.
Where if it were music, it would be a passive thing that would kind of lull me deeper into my exhaustion.
Yeah, it's like that. You have to turn the AC all the way up, and then you have to turn it all the way off, and then you have to open the window, and then you have to close the window, and then just to make the changes in the atmosphere to keep you awake.
Especially in the turnpike, because it's a straight line. If your car's aligned, you don't even have to use the steering wheel.
That's right. I use my knees, man. I'm fucking good. I actually, it's funny you say that because I stop at Wawa and get like a family size soup. And I'm eating it on 95. And I see people as they're driving by, and here I am with my fucking 6'4" knees driving the car while I'm eating fucking soup. It's
That's
fucking
hilarious.
Great. But I actually love the travel in Florida, where I didn't like it in New York because it was always bumper to bumper everywhere you went. But at least I can make it from here to West Palm Beach. That's a good hour in 15 minutes before I ever have to fucking slow down, you know? And then you get to West Palm Beach and it's a fucking crapshoot from there.
Yeah.
The rest of the way
south.
Yeah.
You take 95?
I take 95 everywhere. I'm not a turnpike rider, and only for one reason. When I first moved down here, well, there's nowhere here that I need to go that I have to pay a fucking toll to get to.
Oh, yeah.
Like 95 gets me everywhere, or, you know, a short hop over to 4 through the country. I'll take 4 rather than having to jump on the parkway. I mean, on the turnpike. But the problem with the turnpike was when I first moved down here, I met this girl in Stewart, and I was on my way to the first fucking date, and I got a flat tire on the turnpike. And waiting for a help on the turnpike it was like a 4.5 hour fucking wait.
Oh God!
For somebody to come and help me get the tire fixed.
Did you have cell phones back then, or did she think you?
No, I had it. Yeah, I was on the cell phone with her at the time. You know, like trying to not look like a douche, like I'm skipping out on you. And that trip ended up costing me like $640 in tire and tow and all kinds of other shit. And from that day, I have like PTSD. I don't go on the turnpike at all. Yeah. Everyone always be like, "Yeah, but it's quicker." Fuck that! I'm not going to get stuck on the turnpike.
I don't care. I'm unfortunately on it way too much. Yeah, I'm on it way too much. When I first moved to Florida, I lived at Fort Pierce for the first 6 months, and then Disney hired me to sing in my first show. This was 1998, and I still lived in Fort Pierce for the first month and a half that I worked at Disney.
2-hour commute.
It was 125 miles one way, and round trip $13 in toll a day.
Wow.
And I'm like, I got to move up to Orlando. I can't pay this, you know.
Yeah. But how high did your rent skyrocket?
I was living in a duplex with my best pal Brad. We were sharing it together. We're on one side of a duplex. I want to say rent was $430. Maybe that was my share of it. So maybe it was
okay. So
it was a multi-bedroom.
But that was 98.
Yeah. But my Orlando studio apartment was like, I remember the first one was $695.
Wow.
And I thought, this is so much money.
Yeah, right. And nowadays,
Oh my gosh.
nowadays, actually, I'm seeing people paying apartment prices here for the price that I left New York in 2015 paying.
Wow.
And it's going to change soon, though, just because of the there's so much open housing here right now. Everywhere you like, if you drive in Vero, I don't know if you know Vero at all. You can take 60 down, and you can pretty much make a right down any of these parallel blocks, and you'll find them building a development somewhere.
Still,
yeah, and you know, because they all got into this post-COVID build where they thought all these people were going to
coming down. Yeah,
and at one point we were at 11%, and now we're down to 2% of migrating into Florida. So when you go from 9% decrease in population growth, now we're all those homes, what are you going to do with them all? And as it was when I moved here in 2015, you drive around and see all kinds of half-built developments as there were, because they did this once before.
Right.
And so now I wonder what's, they started building apartment complexes and all these other homes. What do? You take 192 back?
It takes me 60 to the turnpike.
Oh, so you're going to go 60
I get
to
off
the turnpike. All right.
Yeah.
If you were, next time you take 95 north, when you get up past Vieira, up around Vieira area, and they're building these massive amounts of apartments on the south
I think
side
I've passed that when I'm coming back from Hiram's.
Hundreds.
Because Hiram's, I go 95 to 28.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of apartments. And I'm thinking, where the fuck are all the people going to be?
Yeah.
And then if you're coming in and you're signing leases at whatever the lease price is now, and then you end up with all these empty apartments, you're going to have to drop the lease prices. And then, it's just going to be this whole big fucking mess. But fuck that. We don't need to talk about that. What I want you guys to get out of that, because we did hit the 2-hour mark, which is goddamn surprising.
Let's go.
When you put two musicians in a room, they can talk forever. I want you to go check out Erik Winger. It's ERIK.
Correct.
Winger, like the band. On Facebook, he's the drummer for Kiss Alive, the tribute. He has got 2 solo albums out, and he's working on his 3rd. And when I tell you that this is not just a guy home producing music and putting out, there are Grammy award-winning producers working on his next group of songs. So this is stuff that you guys can really get behind, and that it's going to be professionals, and it sounds fucking great. I heard his demos before, and the demos sound. You could release the demo. I think you could release the demo without mixing, but go out and support original music.
Please.
For those of you that are here in this area here, make sure that you stop off at Captain Hiram's on their website. Look for Erik Winger. Look for Erik and Rusty in
WW2.
Because again, Rusty is another musician that comes out of the Orlando area, the Daytona area. That is,
it's amazing.
He's amazing. A lot of people, his reputation goes far and wide. So go out and check out the people that are really working their asses off to bring you guys an entertaining experience and to bring you great music. Anything else that you would like to tell them?
No, I'll have to come back and do the podcast.
You are welcome.
When the new album comes out.
Yeah, as soon as the new album comes out, for sure.
Maybe John and I will come on one day together.
Actually, that would be fun.
He's going to sit behind me.
We should maybe make him wear a mask too.
Yes, just to spare the audience.
Thanks, homie.
Awesome, brother. Thank you.
All right, you guys. Next week.
We'll see you.
Tell me all those dirty, dirty secrets.